Hi guys, welcome to DevOps. Well, this is Harish Kumar Reddy. I can go with a very short introduction about the playbooks, guys. So tomorrow onwards, I'll start the playbooks for your side. So for this, I'm trying to go with introduction part, okay, about the playbooks actually. So generally, we already discussed about ad hoc commands. We already discussed about webhooks, and we already discussed. Now we are trying to discuss about playbook concepts here. Okay, very important, guys. Please try to go with this as per the scenarios. Okay, so today my intention is I can go with a very short notes because I want to practice well in next coming sessions. Okay, so basically what is playbooks actually? So playbooks, we are trying to go with ad hoc process. So see here, ad hoc commands are not capable to work on the one module or set of models. Okay, so previously we discussed about single modules that should be comes a picture of number of arguments. Okay, but now, when we perform the complex configurations, like when we are trying to go with some complex configuration about the management activities, ad hoc is very difficult to manage. Okay, so we are trying to work on the like very shortened as per the scenarios, and we are trying to go with some different types of complex levels. Okay, so here you need to know only one thing, guys. Whenever you're working with ad hoc commands, every time we need to go with every ad hoc command will works under the syntaxes. Playbooks, we are working with multiple services. In such a cases, we are using playbooks actually. Okay, so in such a cases, we are working with the playbooks. Playbooks is a combination of number of plays. Okay, playbooks is a combination of number of plays. We are working with number of places. Okay, so each play can be designed some activity on managed nodes. Okay, so these plays are can be created the work or single host or group of the host or all the host. Okay, so we are working with some scenarios, that is we are working with combination of plays. Each place can be designed to manage node on the basis of single host or group of the host. We are working on the group of the host. Okay, so here you need to notice one thing. The main advantage of playbooks is reusability concept. Okay, we are working with reusability concept. That's very important. Okay, so now here how we can work on the playbook actually. Okay, so I'll try to go with the architecture to understand this concept. Let's go with the page. Okay, so now here we are working as a controller. 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 So controller is also called as inventory file. Inventory file. So here I'm working as a managed nodes. I can take two managed nodes here. I can call this one as server one. This is server one, server two. Okay, so these are the nodes, server one, server two, and I'm connecting these servers into private access on the basis of private SSH. On the basis of private SSH. Okay, now if I was working with the playbooks, coming to playbooks, if I was playbooks will works under the multi-services. Multi-services. Suppose if I was like, I'm taking some example, I can go with the use case, guys, to understand this concept. Use case. Suppose I want to install Git I want to clone the clone the code, clone the code in GitHub repository. I want to install the Git. I want to clone the code in remote repository. Then, so these are one or more service. This is called multi-level services. Multi-level services. Multi-level services. So these multi-level services, how can you try to cover in this particular controller here means, so whenever you're working with editors, you're working with VI Yum editors. You know what is VI editors? That is visual interface. Visual interface. Visual interface. We are working with visual interface and we are writing the code in command line. We are writing the code in command line and we are trying to save the file. Okay, we are trying to work on the saving the files. Okay, so once you try to save the file and you can try to, so we are working with controller only for this. We are working with controller only for this. Okay, so in controller then we can access through private access management, that is server 1, server 2, and we can try to see the whether it is working or not, the server is working or not. Similarly, here also we are trying to go with the playbooks as per the scenarios. Okay, so see here I'm trying to go with pim playbook 1.yaml file. So YAML file, we are trying to work on the progress. And here you need to notice one thing: whenever you're working with playbooks, this is called a parent node. Okay, so this is called a parent node. The whatever you're trying to see, that is called a parent node. Here we are trying to go with the requirements like name, host, and task. Okay, so name and host and task. So here, suppose our name is nothing but we are trying to work on the requirement, and host is nothing but whatever you are trying to do, any server access like you can try to go with 2, 1, anything, that is a host. And coming to task, we are trying to work on the name. So task means whatever you have a install the git and clone the remote repository. So for this, we are trying to go with the task, that is first we are trying to go with name install git, and we are working with the APT, that is data warehouse, and we are trying to work on the state of action, that is we need to install the git for that. Okay, so next we are trying to clone the remote repository. So we need to we need to clone the code from the GitHub repository. Okay, so this is how we can go with the, like, this is a syntax, guys. Whatever you're trying to see, this one, name, host, task, and we are trying to go with the name. So these are the sub requirements for us. Okay, sub requirements. This is very, very important for the playbook concept. Then how can you check whether your playbook is working or not? Okay, for this, you can try to copy this file. You can try to copy this file and you can try to go with the playbook validator. Playbook validator. Playbook validator. Click on this file. Okay, you can try to copy here. You can try to paste it here. Paste it here. See here, it is valid email. It is valid email. Okay, so whatever you're working with the code, whatever you're trying to working in this code, so this is called playbook validator. Okay, suppose if you get any errors, so maximum you won't get errors because you're writing the code very flexible according to the DevOps. Okay, suppose if you're getting code, you can get like this only, indentation spaces. So indentation spaces, these are the indentation spaces. Try to cover these spaces as per your norms. Okay, then you can write the code according to that. Then you are writing the code according to that. You can try to work on the progress. Okay, so here the YAML validator will works under the JSON format, Tom JSONs, BSON, and XML, Catchy, CSV, and data science. We are working with data science as per the level of the scenarios, and we are working on the part. Okay, so this is how we can check the validators. Now, how can you execute the codes? That's very, very important. For this, we are trying to go with Ansible playbook 1.yaml file. We are trying to work on the syntax check. We are trying to work on the syntax check. Okay, so first we'll try to check whether your playbook is working or not. Then we can try to see the that is -B. -B stands for highly privileged. We are trying to work on the multiple services. We are working on the multiple services. So this is all about the playbook introduction, guys. I'm giving very short notes to you today. Tomorrow I can try to go with the practice level. It will be very easy for your understanding. Okay. So if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me so that I can clarify you in comment sessions. Okay. Thank you.